Sit back and enjoy 2 hours of fascinating facts you didn't know. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Let's get started.
In 2021, the sheep Barak was found in a forest in Victoria, Australia, with a fleece weighing more than 77 pounds. The discovery occurred near Melbourne and was documented by the Edgar's Mission Farm Sanctuary. It is believed that Barak escaped from a farm and lived for several years without being sheared. For that reason, it is considered a feral sheep, meaning an animal that was once domestic and became wild. The weight of the fleece drew international attention. Barak was cared for and rehabilitated by the sanctuary. These enormous potatoes weigh approximately 12.3 pounds, a very uncommon size. Specimens like these have been grown in countries such as New Zealand and the United Kingdom. Achieving that weight requires more than just fertilizers. Factors such as potato variety, soil type, climate, and agricultural management are key. The use of nutrients like nitrogen and potassium can help, but it does not guarantee extreme results. The crab-eating macaque is a species that inhabits Southeast Asia and is known for its ability to swim. Its diet includes fruits, insects, and freshwater crabs that it searches for in mangroves during low tide. These primates adapt well to aquatic environments. The Luyang Lake Forest is in Yangzhou, China, and was created as part of a reforestation project. Dawn redwoods were planted, a native species considered a living fossil. The forest is artificial and partially submerged. The water is covered by a green layer caused by duckweed. This aquatic plant forms a dense, glossy surface. This is a feather duster budgerigar, a bird with a mutation that alters feather growth. It is not a different species, but a genetic condition. The feathers grow curled and uncontrolled, preventing it from flying. They are often rejected by their parents at birth. They are prone to infections and other health problems. They require special care to survive. Without attention, their life expectancy is very limited.
Hyperion is the tallest known tree in the world, with a height of approximately 380 feet, and it belongs to the coast redwood species. It is located in Redwood National Park in California, United States, and was discovered in 2006 by naturalists exploring the area. Coast redwoods dominate the list of the tallest trees ever recorded. There are historical reports of Australian eucalyptus trees that may have reached more than 426 feet, but those figures cannot be verified with modern methods. For now, Hyperion remains the tallest tree measured with scientific precision.
Ankole Watusi cattle are a breed originating from Central and Eastern Africa. They are known for their enormous horns, which can measure up to around 6 feet 7 inches in length and exceed 35 inches in circumference. Their historical distribution is concentrated in countries such as Uganda, Rwanda, and Burundi. Some specimens live in zoos in the United States, including the one in Houston. They are valued for their hardiness and distinctive appearance.
This is a sea slug of the genus Alesia, native to Japan, that can regenerate its entire body from the head. When it suffers infections from marine parasites, especially copepods, it abandons the affected body after destroying tissues at the neck. The head remains active, feeding on algae and using chloroplasts to perform temporary photosynthesis. In young specimens, the body fully regenerates in about 3 weeks. It is one of the most extreme regeneration mechanisms in animals.
Drosera is a widely distributed carnivorous plant with close to 200 species worldwide. Its leaves have tentacles that secrete a sweet, sticky mucilage that attracts insects, which become trapped and are slowly enveloped by the tentacles. The insect dies from suffocation or exhaustion, and the plant releases digestive enzymes to break it down and absorb nutrients such as nitrogen and phosphorus, which are scarce in the soils where it lives. The roots of Drosera serve only to absorb water and anchor the plant to the substrate, without participating in significant mineral absorption. For this reason, the plant supplements its nutrition by capturing insects. Fire pon is a modern version of the traditional Indian pon made with betel leaves, slaked lime paste, kataku, and gulkand. It includes dried coconut, menthol crystals, fennel seeds, cloves, and areca nut. This preparation became popular at street stalls because of its visual effect. Fire is applied briefly by igniting sugar or surface alcohol. The result is an aromatic, fleeting bite. Its consumption is more spectacle than tradition. The statue Unconditional Surrender is located in San Diego, United States. It was created by Seward Johnson in 2005 and was inspired by a photograph taken by Alfred Eisenstedt in 1945. The image shows a sailor kissing a nurse during the celebrations of Victory over Japan Day. Although the moment was spontaneous, it was not consensual, which has generated later debate. The sculpture measures approximately 25 feet in height. In Cape Town, South Africa, chacma baboons have become accustomed to urban areas due to the loss of their natural habitat. It is common to see them searching for food in trash or entering homes and businesses to steal food. This behavior has generated conflicts with residents. Although they are a protected species, their presence in densely populated areas has forced the implementation of deterrent measures. Some people use paint, alarms, or pepper spray to drive them away. Authorities monitor their activity to prevent incidents.
Jain monks in India practice rigorous asceticism. They consider cutting hair with blades to be an unnecessary act, so during ceremonies such as Diksha, they prefer to pull out their hair by hand. This act, which can be painful, symbolizes detachment and spiritual discipline. Despite the discomfort, they perform it with serenity and deep conviction, showing total commitment to their spiritual path.
Bombardier beetles, such as Brachynes crepitans in Europe and Pherosophus jessoensis in Asia, possess a unique chemical defense mechanism. When they feel threatened, they expel a mixture of compounds from the rear end of the abdomen. This reaction generates an audible explosion and a jet of hot liquid that can exceed 212 degrees Fahrenheit. This system allows them to repel predators and even escape after being ingested.
The Moai of Easter Island in Chile are humanoid statues carved from volcanic tuff taken from the Rano Ra rock volcano. They are believed to represent deified ancestors whose spiritual energy, called mana, protected their descendants. Although their exact meaning remains unresolved, their transportation has been the subject of multiple hypotheses, including the use of sleds, wooden rollers, or vertical displacement. In the 1980s, Czech engineer Pavel conducted an experiment that demonstrated that the Moai could be moved by rocking, leading to the theory that they were transported in an upright position, as if they were walking.
The bagworm is a caterpillar from the Psychidae family. It builds a mobile cocoon using silk and materials from its surroundings, such as leaves, soil, or small sticks. It is found in several regions of the Americas, including the Argentine pampas. The most frequently cited scientific name is Oketicus kirby. These larvae use the cocoon as protection while they move. The usual size of the cocoon ranges between approximately 1 and 3 inches. On drag racing tracks, it is common for shoes to stick to the ground. This happens because the surface is treated with sticky compounds, such as resin or rubber. Their purpose is to increase tire traction during extreme acceleration. When walking on it, a strong resistance is felt, as if the shoes were stuck.
This aerial view shows a train passing through the Mae Klong Market in Samut Sakhon, Thailand. It is famous for its railway tracks that run directly between the stalls. Several times a day, vendors pull back awnings and goods to allow the train to pass. The golden tortoise beetle is a fascinating insect, measuring less than 1 centimeter. Most curious is the behavior of its larva, which accumulates its own excrement on its back, creating a protective parasol used as a shield against predators. The adult's ability to change from a bright golden color to a dull orange-brown also helps it avoid detection.
In November of 2024, the Al Jauf Desert in Saudi Arabia was covered by snow and hail, creating an unusual landscape where the sand appeared glazed. Although there is no official name for this phenomenon, some people informally called it a Martian storm due to its surreal appearance. The combination of snow and sand is uncommon, but possible in desert regions with extreme climate variations.
The tree known as the manchineel, or Hippomane mancinella, is native to regions such as Costa Rica and the Caribbean. Its fruit, similar to an apple, is highly toxic and can be fatal if consumed. The sap that seeps from its bark and leaves causes severe burns upon contact with the skin. Even a single drop can damage materials such as cotton. Burning its wood releases toxic smoke that affects the respiratory tract. The pollen can also provoke intense allergic reactions in sensitive individuals. Because of its danger, this tree is often marked with warnings in areas where it grows.
This video recorded in the United States shows Japanese master Isao Machi cutting a baseball with a katana. The ball travels at around 99 miles per hour from a pitching machine. Machi stands a little over 30 feet from the machine. Before the cut, he lets 2 pitches pass to calculate height and trajectory. On May 1st, Labor Day is celebrated in China, and in some years, the holiday extends for up to 5 days. During this period, thousands of tourists visit the Great Wall, especially the bottling section. The most well-known and preserved portion was rebuilt between 1368 and 1644 during the Ming Dynasty.
The oldest walls were built by states such as Wei in the 5th century before Christ, although no complete section from that period has been preserved.
The Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt was built for Pharaoh Khufu and originally stood around 482 feet tall. Today, it reaches approximately 455 feet. Its construction is estimated between 2589 and 2504 before Christ. At that time, the Olmec culture did not yet exist in Mesoamerica. The pyramid is more than 2,000 years older than the Great Wall of China. Stonehenge, with phases starting around 3000 before Christ, is slightly older. Inside, there are 3 main chambers: the King's Chamber, the Queen's Chamber, and a subterranean chamber. It is one of the most studied constructions of antiquity.
The Chinese company Unitree introduced the humanoid robot G1 with advanced movement capabilities. It can perform martial art sequences and maintain balance thanks to sensors and control algorithms. In public demonstrations, it has shown fluid and precise motion. The robot measures approximately 4 feet 3 inches in height and weighs about 77 pounds. Its compact design allows dynamic maneuvers in confined spaces. It is aimed at research and development in bipedal robotics.
From the Mi Teleférico system that connects La Paz with El Alto, steep areas can be seen, such as those near Villa Dolores. Some users have informally called them an abyss or ravine. Although this is not an official designation, the slope is not completely vertical, but it is pronounced. The area shows signs of urban vulnerability. The views from the houses reflect the complex geography of the region.
The Honduran white bat, Ectophila alba, is not albino, but instead has white fur and yellow ears as natural traits. It measures between approximately 1 and 1.6 inches and lives in small groups in tropical rainforests. It is found in Honduras, Nicaragua, Costa Rica, and Panama. For shelter, it cuts the lateral veins of heliconia leaves, forming plant tents that protect it from predators and rain. It is the only member of its genus and stands out for its cooperative behavior. Coco was a gorilla trained by Dr. Francine Patterson in a project associated with Stanford University. She learned more than 1,000 signs based on American Sign Language. She is credited with understanding about 2,000 words in English. Her case sparked debate among scientists about whether she truly understood language. Some believe her responses were coherent and spontaneous, while others argue she merely imitated gestures because researchers rewarded her when she did so.
In cold regions of Russia, construction workers operate under extreme temperatures. In areas such as Siberia, the climate can drop below -40 degrees Fahrenheit. To protect themselves, they use specialized thermal clothing and insulating layers. Portable heaters are also used at construction sites. Frequent breaks help prevent hypothermia.
This is a Sarama rooster, originating from Kelantan, Malaysia. It is distinguished by its upright posture, puffed chest, and low wings. It is the smallest chicken breed in the world, with specimens weighing less than around 18 ounces. It was developed in the 1970s and formalized in the 1990s. Although recent, it derives from older miniature lineages. Its compact appearance makes it popular in exhibitions. It is one of the most singular domestic birds due to its size and posture. Chess boxing is a hybrid sport that combines chess and boxing in alternating rounds. It was conceived by the French comic artist Enki Bilal and put into practice by Jeppe Rubing in 2003. The match consists of 11 rounds, 6 of chess lasting 4 minutes, and 5 of boxing lasting 3 minutes with 1-minute breaks between each. Victory is achieved by checkmate, a knockout, or if the opponent exceeds the time limit in chess. In the event of a tie, the decision is made by points, as in traditional boxing. This sport is practiced mainly in Germany, the United Kingdom, India, Russia, the United States, and the Netherlands.
The Jumping Frog Jubilee is held in Angels Camp, California, as part of the Calaveras County Fair. It is a competition in which bullfrogs must jump the greatest distance in 3 attempts. The frogs are captured locally or rented for the event. They must measure at least around 4 inches to participate. They are placed at a starting point, and the total distance covered is measured. Competitors may encourage them without touching them. The event is regulated by the California Department of Fish and Wildlife.
The Volvo V70, built with Lego pieces by David Gustafson, uses more than 400,000 blocks, but it is not assembled using standard interlocking pieces alone. Although the body is made of Lego, the vehicle rests on a metal chassis with a real engine, brakes, and wheels. The use of glue has not been confirmed, but internal reinforcements are known to exist. The assembly includes external components to ensure stability.
Sweat is produced by sweat glands located in the dermis, mainly of the eccrine and apocrine types. Eccrine glands are distributed across almost the entire skin and release clear sweat that helps cool the body. This process is activated when body temperature rises and allows thermal regulation through evaporation. Under a microscope, sweat can be observed emerging through the pores of the skin.
The visible vapor that comes out of the mouth in cold weather is condensed water vapor. It forms when warm, moist exhaled air comes into contact with colder, drier air. This phenomenon commonly occurs below 50 degrees Fahrenheit. In extreme conditions, such as -22 degrees Fahrenheit, the vapor can freeze as it settles on eyebrows, eyelashes, or beards. The visual effect depends on humidity, temperature, and wind.
These are anhydroagates, stones with water trapped inside them for millions of years. They form in cavities of volcanic rocks where silica crystallizes. The water becomes sealed inside during the geological process. Sometimes it can be seen moving like a liquid bubble when the stone is shaken. In some cases, a geode has been broken open and its water drunk. Although possible, it is not guaranteed to be safe or pure. The age of the water cannot always be verified with certainty.
This video was recorded in Denver, United States, during the Denver Zombie Crawl. It is an annual event that brings together thousands of people dressed as zombies. It includes contests, music, and themed activities. The Zombie Parade is one of its main attractions. Some editions have been especially massive. The Black Widow is a spider recognizable by the red hourglass-shaped marking on its abdomen. It belongs to the genus Latrodectus and is known for its potent venom. Females are larger and more venomous than males. Although its venom can cause intense muscle pain for 2 or 3 days, it is rarely fatal. These spiders are not aggressive and only bite if they feel threatened. Their size can reach up to around 2 inches with legs extended. They are common in warm, sheltered regions.
The maquech is a beetle native to the Yucatan Peninsula that has been used as living jewelry in Mexico. This artisanal practice, linked by some to Mayan traditions, consists of decorating the insect with fake stones or real gems. A small chain with settings is attached, allowing it to be fastened to clothing. In this way, the beetle can walk on the body as part of the adornment. Although its cultural origin is debated, it remains present in local commerce. The video of the Triceratops getting off a truck was recorded at Mojosemi Forest Park in East Java, Indonesia. It is not a real animal, but a mechanical costume. The park features a robotic dinosaur attraction for tourism purposes. Some users shared it as if it showed a living dinosaur. Sand viewed under a microscope reveals a mixture of tiny fragments of rocks, minerals, and biological remains. Its composition varies depending on the environment, including quartz, feldspar, and carbonates. In coastal areas, it may contain fragments of shells and marine organisms. Although remnants of crustaceans are sometimes found, they are not primary components. These usually decompose before forming durable particles. Each grain preserves a microscopic history of the landscape that formed it. Recorded in Kejimkujik National Park in Nova Scotia, Canada, this is an American woodcock. This family of woodcocks dance or remain motionless as a deterrent method against predators. Adults reach around 12 inches in length and enjoy eating earthworms. They are native to Canada, the United States, and Mexico.
The dragonfly goes through 3 stages: egg, nymph, and adult. Most of its life occurs during the aquatic nymph stage. This phase can last from months to more than 4 years, depending on the species. Upon reaching adulthood, it develops wings and lives for about 1 to 2 months. During this stage, it is mainly dedicated to reproduction. Birds do not lie on their backs as part of their natural behavior or as a defense mechanism. This posture usually indicates that they are injured, sick, or dead. Under normal conditions, they sleep curled up or in an upright position, with the head tucked into the feathers or under a wing. Their feet remain gripping a branch or stable surface. There are no scientific records supporting that they voluntarily place themselves upside down. Roosters have natural aggressiveness, especially toward other males, as part of territorial behavior. This conduct can appear from a young age and is more intense in breeds selected for fighting. However, the environment also influences it. In confined or overcrowded spaces, roosters become more aggressive when competing for territory and resources. Aggression is innate, but the environment can intensify it. In March of 2020, in Setecani, a village near Modena, Italy, several homes received Lambrusco Grasparosa wine from their taps instead of drinking water. The incident was caused by a malfunction in a valve at the Cantina Setecani Castelvetro winery. Because the wine had higher pressure, it leaked from a silo into pipes connected to the public system. Local authorities confirmed the event and stated that it posed no health risks. Tardigrades, also called water bears, are microscopic animals that measure around 20 thousandths of an inch. They are observed with a microscope and are commonly found in mosses, lichens, and aquatic environments. They are known for their extreme resistance to adverse conditions. They can survive in the vacuum of space and withstand temperatures ranging from -328 to 302 degrees Fahrenheit. They also resist radiation, dehydration, and intense pressure. This ability is due to a state called cryptobiosis. They are among the most resilient organisms known to science. High-quality knives are made from high-carbon steels that provide excellent hardness and edge retention. However, they do not offer corrosion protection without additional treatment. Materials such as spring steel are ideal for tools that need great toughness and impact resistance. On the other hand, very high-carbon steels are preferred for knives that require extreme precision while maintaining a long-lasting edge. The final choice depends on the intended use of the knife, durability or delicacy.
The phenomenon of one egg inside another is a very rare anomaly in hens. It occurs when an already formed yolk returns to the reproductive system instead of being expelled. There, it becomes encapsulated together with a new yolk, forming a double shell. It is not a case of consecutive double ovulation, but rather an interruption in the transit of the first egg. This backward movement may be due to stress, physical shocks, or failures in internal synchronization.
Praying mantises are native to Eurasia and Africa, but today they are found worldwide. The orchid mantis, native to Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, and Burma, uses floral mimicry to attract prey. It has no sting or venom since no mantis has a stinger. The deadleaf mantis is also Asian and camouflages itself as dry leaves. Both are predators that hunt through camouflage. They pose no danger to humans. The Salar de Uyuni, located in Potosí, Bolivia, is the largest salt flat in the world, with a surface area of approximately 4,085 square miles. It originated after the evaporation of Lake Tauca about 11,000 years ago. During the rainy season, between December and April, it is covered by a thin layer of water. This phenomenon creates a mirror effect that has been widely photographed. The salt flat lies at more than 11,800 feet above sea level, and its surface contains large lithium reserves.
This is the Giant's Causeway in Antrim, Northern Ireland. It is formed by about 40,000 basalt columns. They originated around 60 million years ago when a lava flow cooled. The rock fractures due to thermal contraction into hexagonal shapes. This phenomenon is called columnar jointing. Basalt columns are also found in Mexico, Iceland, Scotland, Japan, Chile, and other countries. It is one of the most unique geological landscapes in the world.
The restaurant Chiang Mai Breakfast World is located in Chiang Mai, Thailand. It offers a curious discount system based on the body width of customers. Those who manage to pass through the narrowest metal bars receive up to a 20% discount. The challenge is available at any time, not only after eating. The bars are arranged in 5 levels of difficulty. The system has drawn attention for its originality and also criticism for its physical implications.
Lake Kaindi is in the Tian Shan Mountains, southeast of Kazakhstan. It formed in 1911 after an earthquake caused a landslide. The collapse blocked a stream and created a natural dam. This flooded a spruce forest, whose dry trunks now emerge from the water. The bases of the trees remain submerged. The landscape is known for its surreal appearance.
Peacocks, especially Pavo cristatus, are native to South Asia, including India and Sri Lanka. They can fly short distances to escape or reach high branches, although they spend most of their time on the ground. Their flight is limited but functional. It has been suggested that Alexander the Great may have introduced peacocks to Europe during his campaigns in the 4th century before Christ. However, they were already known in Greece by around 450 before Christ.
Masulle is a mountainous city in Gilan province, Iran, with stepped architecture. The roofs of lower houses function as streets and courtyards for the upper ones. For this reason, automobile traffic is not allowed in the city. Most buildings have 2 stories and are made with traditional materials, such as adobe, wood, and wooden beams. Masulle is recognized for its unique design and cultural value.
This video appears to have been recorded in Turkey, based on the visible license plates. The ignition temperature of paper varies, but it is usually between approximately 454 and 471 degrees Fahrenheit. An experiment by the Max Car Info channel shows that a white car can reach approximately 113 degrees Fahrenheit, while a black one reaches about 158 degrees Fahrenheit. These differences are due to solar absorption depending on color. Although heat can raise surface temperatures, the environment in Turkey does not reach levels sufficient to ignite paper on its own. The napkin could become warm, but it would not catch fire without an additional source.
The pirangi tree is a cashew tree located in Pirangi do Norte, Brazil, near the city of Natal. It's considered the largest of its species in the world, covering an area of approximately 91,500 square feet. Although it looks like a forest, it's a single tree. Its expansion is due to a genetic mutation. Branches that touch the ground develop new roots. It is estimated to have been planted in 1888. It's a tourist attraction because of its size and unusual shape. Its growth remains active and is managed by specialists.
The matryoshka, or Russian nesting doll, is a set of hollow dolls that fit inside one another, traditionally made of wood. What's interesting is that matryoshkas represent a mother who carries her children inside, symbolizing motherhood and fertility. Although matryoshkas have been popular in Russia since the late 19th century, their design has evolved to include a variety of themes and artistic styles.
Gibraltar International Airport is located next to the city and crosses Winston Churchill Avenue. This main road is interrupted every time there is a landing or takeoff. Vehicular and pedestrian traffic is stopped using barriers and traffic lights. Although there is no fixed time, this usually happens minutes before the aircraft passes. It is one of the few airports in the world with an active road crossing.
Professional pillow fighting is a real sport with organized events in the United States. Its predecessor was the Pillow Fight League, founded in Toronto in 2004 and active until 2011. Currently, the Pillow Fight Championship exists, created in 2021 with specific rules, such as 3 rounds of 2 minutes and a prohibition on direct physical contact. If a fighter loses the pillow, the match is stopped. The pillows are designed for the sport, but it has not been confirmed that they are filled with cotton.
This strange fish was recorded in China and is likely a giant oarfish, known as Regalicus glesnae. It can reach up to around 56 feet in length, although it more commonly measures between approximately 20 and 36 feet. It inhabits tropical and temperate waters of all oceans. It has been seen both near the surface and at depths of up to around 3,280 feet. Its long, silvery body makes it unmistakable. It is considered one of the longest bony fish in the world.
This is the miniature art of David Linden, pieces of art so small that they fit on the head of a needle. David creates recreations of famous characters and artworks with the help of a microscope.
This is an animation of ancient Egypt, showing the Great Pyramid of Giza. It was originally covered with polished white limestone. This casing gave it a bright appearance under the sun. Its construction is estimated to have taken about 20 years. Some believe it had a golden pyramidion at the top, but there is no conclusive evidence.
During a solar eclipse, small openings act as natural projectors. Instead of showing a circle of light, they project the silhouette of the partially covered sun. This is due to the principle of the pinhole camera. The resulting images on the ground or walls look like small moons or crescents. This strange bird is an umbrella bird of the genus Cephalopterus. It has a black crest that extends over its head like an umbrella. From its throat hangs a plume pouch that can measure up to approximately 12 inches. Its appearance has been compared to that of an alien because of its unusual shape. It is native to Central and South America. It is found in countries such as Brazil, Colombia, Ecuador, and Costa Rica. These are the movements of 2 babies in the womb at 33 weeks of pregnancy. At this stage, they already have sleep cycles and show brain activity similar to REM sleep. They can also hear nearby voices, especially their mothers. They are capable of perceiving intense light through the skin and the uterus. The typical birth range is between weeks 37 and 40. Before that, it is considered preterm birth. Sensory development is very advanced at this stage of pregnancy. The little bittern is a small, discrete heron that is difficult to observe in its natural habitat. It measures between approximately 10 and 14 inches in length. It inhabits wetlands with dense vegetation where it camouflages easily. Its distribution includes Europe, Western and Central Asia, and much of Africa, including Madagascar. It has crepuscular habits and usually remains hidden during the day. It is the smallest heron species that breeds in Europe.
The Suriname tern of Tudakepa, native to the Amazon region, has a very unusual reproductive process. During mating, the female releases the eggs while the male fertilizes them. The eggs become embedded in the skin on the mother's back. They remain there throughout gestation.
When they hatch, the offspring emerge fully formed. This method avoids exposing the eggs to predators. It is one of the strangest processes among known amphibians. This sunset was recorded in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, through a cloud of sand. Dust storms are common in arid regions and can intensify the red tones of the sky. Suspended particles scatter sunlight at sunset. In addition to dust, the sky can turn red due to wildfires. This can also occur because of high environmental pollution with fine particles. Under conditions of high humidity and below freezing temperatures, ice can form on tree leaves. This phenomenon occurs when water vapor in the air freezes upon contact with cold surfaces. The result is a layer of frost or surface ice adhered to the leaf.
The Range Rover SUV Autobiography is a luxury model manufactured by Land Rover. The German company Klassen modifies this vehicle to convert it into a high-end armored limousine. These versions have an extended body and level 7 armor. They are equipped with luxuries such as reclining seats, ambient lighting, and multimedia systems.
This worm is a tapeworm, an intestinal parasite, also known as a solitary worm. The most common species in humans are Taenia solium and Taenia saginata. They can reach up to approximately 33 feet in length and live for years in the intestine. Infection occurs by consuming raw or undercooked meat containing larvae. It can also be transmitted by ingesting eggs present on contaminated food or surfaces. Poor hygiene, such as not washing hands, facilitates transmission.
Giethoorn is a picturesque village in the province of Overijssel, Netherlands. Its old section is characterized by the absence of streets for cars. Transportation is mainly done on foot or in small boats that travel through its canals. Cars can only reach the outskirts of the village. They are not allowed in the historic center. Recently, bicycle paths have been built. These connect the village with nearby natural routes such as those of Wetteriebenweiden National Park. Edinburgh Hill is located on Livingston Island in the South Shetland Islands, Antarctica. It has a height of approximately 590 feet. Its base is formed by basalt columns, the result of a geological phenomenon called columnar jointing. This occurs when lava cools rapidly and fractures into polygonal shapes. The columns often have a hexagonal appearance and align vertically. Blue whales are the largest animals on the planet, reaching up to around 98 feet in length and weighing more than approximately 400,000 pounds. They feed mainly on krill, small shrimp-like crustaceans. In the early 20th century, they were close to extinction due to intensive commercial whaling, and their population began to recover after the International Moratorium of 1986. Blue whales primarily inhabit deep, open ocean waters. Recorded in China, this phenomenon shows a stream of cold air entering a room with warm air. The thermal difference can generate visible turbulence, especially if there is humidity in the environment. This type of contrast can cause condensation or momentary fog. The dead forest of Deadvlei is in the Namib Desert, southwest of Namibia. It formed about 600 years ago when the Souchab River flooded a clay plain. Acacia trees grew there and later died when water flow was blocked by dunes. The dry climate prevented decomposition. The blackened trunks still stand. Although they are not petrified, they appear frozen in time. This is a Sicarius, also called a six-eyed spider. It buries itself in sand to ambush prey and protect itself from heat. Its venom is potent, similar to that of the brown recluse. Although dangerous, it rarely comes into contact with humans. It inhabits arid regions of South America and Africa. It can reach up to around 2.4 inches with legs extended. On the island of São Miguel, the largest in the Azores archipelago in Portugal, there are roads lined with blooming hydrangeas. These plants grow abundantly during the summer, forming natural walls in shades of blue and lilac. The landscape is characteristic of the region and has been widely photographed by visitors. Hydrangeas are considered a local symbol for their beauty and constant presence. The chamois, also called the alpine antelope, is a mammal of the genus Rupicapra that inhabits European mountains such as the Alps. It is known for its agility when descending snowy slopes at great speed and precision. In some videos recorded in the Alps, it has been seen dodging mountaineers during its movements. Its speed is notable, but difficult to measure accurately. This behavior reflects its adaptation to steep terrain. This giant onion weighs around 10 pounds, a very uncommon size. Specimens like this are usually grown for agricultural competitions, especially in countries such as the United Kingdom. Specialized horticulturists employ precise techniques to achieve these sizes. Under normal conditions, a commercial onion weighs between approximately 4 and 18 ounces, which is why an onion weighing several pounds is considered exceptional. In Valencia, Spain, the collection of bitter oranges is carried out every year in public streets and parks. These oranges of the Citrus aurantium variety are not suitable for human consumption due to their extremely bitter taste. Although many fall to the ground, crews are organized to remove them. The goal is to maintain urban cleanliness and avoid inconvenience. The collected oranges are usually sent for composting. The behavior called anointing is common in hedgehogs. It consists of the animal producing foamy saliva after smelling something new or intense, and then applying it to its spines using its tongue. It is believed to do this to camouflage its scent or protect itself from toxic substances. Although it may appear to deflate, it is actually just changing posture. It is a normal reaction and does not indicate any health problem. Soap bubbles can freeze in below freezing temperatures, especially below -4 degrees Fahrenheit. Upon contact with cold air, the film of water and soap crystallizes quickly. This creates visible patterns on the surface of the bubble. To achieve this effect, it is recommended to use a mixture with glycerin or corn syrup. These ingredients strengthen the structure and prevent it from breaking. The phenomenon is delicate and requires very cold conditions with little wind.
The thin trails seen behind airplanes are condensation trails, or contrails. They form when water vapor condenses or freezes into ice crystals due to low temperatures and pressures at high altitudes. They can also appear at the wingtips due to pressure differences. These vortices bend and swirl with the air. Temperature changes influence their shape and duration. They are not smoke, but transformed vapor.
The Dubai Aquarium is located inside the Dubai Mall and houses more than 33,000 aquatic animals. It features more than 140 marine species, including fish, rays, and sharks. It stands out for having the largest collection of sand tiger sharks on display in the world. These sharks are part of the educational and diving experiences offered by the aquarium. The aquarium is one of the most visited attractions in Dubai.
Pelicans often spread their wings in the sun as part of their natural behavior. This action helps them regulate body temperature and dry their feathers after swimming. It can also hinder the survival of some external parasites. It is a common behavior in warm and coastal environments. Mandrills are native to Cameroon, Gabon, Congo, and Equatorial Guinea, and their diet includes fruits, seeds, roots, insects, and small animals. Males have canines that can reach up to approximately 2.4 inches in large specimens. These canines are used mainly for intimidation and defense. Although they do not usually attack without provocation, they can be aggressive if they feel threatened. Dominant males display intense territorial behavior.
In Tabuk, in northern Saudi Arabia, snowfalls have been recorded that even cover camels, as happened in January of 2022. Although they are not frequent, these snowfalls occur every few years during winter, when temperatures drop and there is sufficient moisture. In this region, winter rain can turn into snow, especially in mountainous areas. Similar phenomena have been observed in desert areas of Syria, Lebanon, Iran, and Jordan. In northern Syria, for example, it snowed in 2020, and in Lebanon in 2017.
Squirrels have cheek pouches, which are expandable pockets in their cheeks used to store food. This behavior allows them to transport seeds and fruits to their burrows. In addition to squirrels, animals such as hamsters and some monkeys also have cheek pouches. These organs are key to survival in environments where food is scarce or dispersed. At Emerald Downs Racetrack in Auburn, Washington, an annual Tyrannosaurus Rex costume race is held. The event began in 2017 as a local corporate activity. Over time, it became a popular tradition. The race takes place on the horse track at the racetrack. More than 300 runners have participated in different editions. This carrot could measure close to 3 feet of length, although that is not typical. Specimens of that size have been grown in agricultural competitions. In 2016, Joe Atherton achieved a carrot measuring more than 19 feet in the United Kingdom. Carrots measuring more than 3 feet have also been recorded in Lebanon.
In Pakistan, police have been reported deflating or puncturing the tires of improperly parked vehicles as a deterrent measure. This action is carried out without prior notice and has been documented by international media. The practice aims to reduce vehicular disorder in urban areas. However, it has generated criticism for its severity and for the costs it imposes on drivers. Some citizens question its legality and effectiveness. Authorities do not always explain the procedure.
In conditions of extreme cold, it is possible to freeze moistened toilet paper until it becomes rigid. The process would involve unrolling the paper on the ground and repeatedly moistening it.
With below freezing temperatures, the water would freeze and harden the paper. It had to be moistened several times a day and over several days with the breeze from a sprinkler until it gained enough rigidity to stand upright.
This video shows the rotation of the Earth with the Milky Way as an apparent fixed point. It is achieved using an equatorial mount that compensates for Earth's movement. This keeps the sky stationary while the landscape rotates. It is a common technique in astrophotography. Fire cutting is a technique practiced in countries such as Pakistan, India, and Egypt. In Bahawalpur, the barber Shafkat Rajput is known for applying it. It consists of spraying a flammable liquid on the hair and briefly setting it on fire. The heat is used to shape the hair in an aesthetic way. Bruce Campbell, a retired electrical engineer, lives in a Boeing 727 that he converted into a residence. The airplane is located in a forest in the state of Oregon, United States. It was acquired in 1999 and transported by road to his property. Campbell outfitted it with a kitchen, bathroom, shower, and laundry, while preserving much of the original fuselage. His project seeks to promote the creative recycling of retired aircraft. In Burgos, Spain, a charity rubber duck race is held on the Arlanzón River. Thousands of numbered ducks compete, and the first to arrive receive prizes. The event is charitable in nature and raises donations for social projects. Part of the proceeds is allocated to soup kitchens run by the Daughters of Charity. Access to drinking water in Bolivia is also supported. Plastic that contains water does not melt because the liquid dissipates heat before the material reaches its melting point. Water has a high capacity to absorb thermal energy without rapidly increasing its temperature. As it heats up, the heat is transferred first to the water, which distributes it and keeps the temperature below the critical threshold. Plastics such as polypropylene or polyethylene melt at more than approximately 390 degrees Fahrenheit. A snake was found taking shelter in a motorcycle, likely seeking a warm and safe place to spend the winter. Although they do not hibernate like mammals, snakes enter a state called brumation. During brumation, their metabolism decreases and they remain inactive for long periods. They do not sleep deeply, but they move very little and conserve energy. This behavior is common in cold climates, where they seek protected spaces. When a plastic bottle filled with air is submerged in water, pressure increases with depth. This compresses the air inside the bottle, reducing its volume and altering its buoyancy. When it resurfaces, the pressure decreases and the air expands, returning to its original shape. This phenomenon is explained by Boyle's law, which relates pressure and volume in gases. The greater the depth, the greater the compression of the air. The bottle acts as a clear example of how volume changes with pressure. The frilled-necked lizard, scientifically known as Chlamydosaurus kingi, is native to northern Australia and southern New Guinea. It can reach up to approximately 34 inches in length, including the tail. Its diet is based on insects and small vertebrates, although it occasionally consumes plants. Its most distinctive feature is the skin frill supported by cartilage that surrounds its neck. This frill unfolds like a fan when the animal feels threatened or during courtship displays. It lives in warm arboreal areas where it moves with agility. This is Shaolin monk Shi Liliang running across a row of floating boards measuring approximately 410 feet. The technique consists of stepping on each board for less than 1 second to prevent it from sinking. The boards are thin and do not support prolonged weight. Shi Liliang trained for years with iron weights on his feet and back. He also ran about 3 miles with a metal plate as part of his routine. Lake Baikal, located in Siberia, Russia, is the deepest in the world and holds a large reserve of fresh water. Its water is remarkably clear, with one of the lowest turbidity levels recorded. In some areas, visibility reaches more than 66 feet in depth. During winter, its surface freezes completely. The ice that forms is transparent and of great purity. Red Beach is located in the Paracas National Reserve in Ica, Peru. Its reddish sand is the result of erosion of volcanic rocks, especially pink granodiorite. These rocks fragment due to the action of the sea and wind. The sediments mix with the sand, creating the characteristic color. This geological phenomenon is natural and constant. The beach is a tourist attraction because of its unique landscape. Spanish artist Sergi Cadenas is recognized for his kinetic paintings with dual perspective, which 2 different portraits can be seen depending on the viewing angle. One of his most well-known works shows the transformation of Marilyn Monroe into Albert Einstein, while another represents the aging of a woman seen as young from one side and elderly from the other.
The technique used consists of painting on channeled surfaces, similar to vertical grooves, where each side contains a different image that is revealed as the viewer moves in front of the artwork. Goats have horizontal rectangular pupils, an adaptation common among herbivores. This shape allows them to maintain stable panoramic vision even when they tilt their heads to graze. With eyes positioned on the sides, their field of view is very wide, which is useful for detecting predators from different directions. The rectangular pupil improves perception of the environment near ground level, where predators often hide. Sheep, deer, and horses share this characteristic. It is an evolutionary advantage for animals that live in open spaces. In the United States, long hoses are used to release live fish, especially trout, into lakes and rivers. This method is part of restocking and conservation programs. The fish are transported from hatcheries and carefully released into bodies of water. The goal is to restore populations and maintain ecological balance. So-called white ice forests can form from frost or rime. Frost appears when water vapor freezes onto cold surfaces. It occurs under conditions of high humidity and below freezing temperatures. Rime forms when freezing fog solidifies upon contact. Both phenomena create white crystalline landscapes. They are natural effects that beautify forests in winter. The jet suit is a flying device developed by the British company Gravity Industries. It uses 5 jet engines, 3 on the back and 1 on each arm. The pilot controls the flight through body movements and arm orientation. The equipment has been tested by the Royal Navy and presented at international events. Its price is around $430,000. The jet suit allows short flights at low altitude with high maneuverability. It is one of the most visible advances in personal aerial mobility technology. The mass takeoff of starlings from a tree can look like a moving work of art. This natural phenomenon is known as murmuration. The birds take off in synchrony, forming constantly changing patterns in the sky. Spontaneous glass breakage is uncommon, but it occurs mainly in tempered glass. A frequent cause is nickel sulfide inclusions that generate internal stress over time. Failures in the tempering process, invisible microcracks, and sudden temperature changes also play a role. Poor installation can increase the risk.
The Singi stone forest is in the Malaki region, western Madagascar. It is part of the Bemaraha Reserve and has been a World Heritage Site since 1990. It is composed of extremely sharp limestone pinnacles. These formations originated from rainwater erosion over millions of years. The word Singi means where one cannot walk in Malagasy. Lemurs and other endemic species inhabit this ecosystem. It is one of the most unique landscapes in the world.
Manami Ito is a Japanese violinist who lost her right arm in an accident in 2004. To play the violin, she uses a prosthesis adapted to her residual limb. The system includes a harness with a cable connected to her left shoulder. By moving the shoulder, she controls the bow with precision. This mechanism allows her to perform complex pieces with great expressiveness. The basilisk is a lizard native to Central and South America, with confirmed presence in countries such as Costa Rica, Panama, and Colombia. It is known for its ability to run on water for a few seconds. This ability is due to its speed and to lobes on its hind feet that increase surface area. After a few seconds, the basilisk sinks due to loss of momentum. It is a notable example of physical adaptation. The European hamster, scientifically known as Chrysitis chrysitis, is a solitary species that inhabits Central and Eastern Europe. Its fur shows distinctive patterns, a brown back, black belly, and white areas on the feet and cheeks. It measures between approximately 9 and 10 inches in length. During winter, it remains isolated in underground burrows where it hibernates. It is active mainly at dusk and at night. At a school in Quebec, Canada, bicycle desks are used for hyperactive children. They allow students to pedal while paying attention in class. The initiative was promoted by teacher Mario Leroux. It seeks to channel energy without resorting to medication. According to specialists, exercise improves concentration and cognitive skills. It has been well received by teachers and health professionals. What is observed is a slab avalanche, a type of release that occurs when a cohesive layer of snow slides over a weaker one. In some cases, the fracture can propagate uphill or laterally, which gives it an unusual appearance. The skier manages to glide over the avalanche without being carried away, which is possible if the speed of the release is low. The game Jenga was created by British designer Leslie Scott and was commercially launched in the 1980s. Giant versions known as Jenga Giant also exist. Boston Dynamics, an American robotics company, developed 3 notable models:
Atlas, Spot, and Handle. Atlas is a humanoid robot approximately 5 feet 11 inches tall, designed for search and rescue tasks in dangerous environments. Spot, the yellow quadruped robot, is sold for about $74,600 and is intended for inspection, surveillance, and transport work in complex terrain. Handle, a robot with wheels and articulated arms, was conceived for logistical handling, such as loading and unloading boxes, but it is no longer in production.
Recorded in Argentina, this phenomenon shows what appears to be a sliced sky, possibly caused by a lenticular cloud or roll cloud. Lenticular clouds have a saucer-like shape and form due to air currents in mountainous areas. Roll clouds are horizontal and rotate along their axes, creating a striking visual effect. The cut in the sky could be the edge of the cloud, thinner and illuminated by the sun. This side lighting highlights the contrast with the background. A group of firefighters in Shanghai, China, was recorded performing synchronized rope training. In the exercise, 8 firefighters run in a line and jump while 2 others turn the rope. The activity requires coordination, rhythm, and physical endurance. The training aims to improve reflexes, teamwork, and physical conditioning. Domestic bulls do not usually attack people unless they are provoked, although their behavior varies depending on the breed and the environment. The fighting bull is an exception, bred specifically to display aggressiveness. This artificial selection has enhanced combative responses to stimuli. Genetic studies have identified traits associated with this behavior in its prefrontal cortex. In other breeds, aggressiveness is less pronounced and depends on human handling. The Chinese Long March 5B rocket re-entered the atmosphere in an uncontrolled manner on July 30, 2022. It had been launched to place a module of the Tiangong space station. Videos of the re-entry were recorded from Indonesia, Malaysia, and possibly Singapore. Most of the rocket disintegrated in the atmosphere. Debris fell into the Indian Ocean near the Maldives.
This incident was recorded in San Luis Potosí, Mexico. The vehicle appears to be in motion with fire underneath. It is likely that the driver did not notice the fire at first. This type of fire usually originates from a gasoline leak. If the fuel comes into contact with a spark, it can ignite rapidly.
The student Nika uses an arm prosthesis called Esper Hand, created by the Ukrainian company Esper Bionics. This device uses myoelectric sensors that detect muscle activity to control movement. It is connected to an application that allows functions to be adjusted and custom gestures to be trained. With the prosthesis, Nika can perform tasks such as eating, picking up small objects, opening packages, and brushing her hair. It is a notable advancement in functional bionic technology.
During Winter Storm Elliott in December of 2022, extreme temperatures were recorded in New York, especially in Buffalo. In that city, several parked cars were covered in ice, forming structures similar to stalactites. Ice formation on a single vehicle can be due to prolonged exposure to moisture and successive freezes. This suggests that the car was not moved for several days.
Eltz Castle is located in Rhineland-Palatinate, Germany, and was built in the 12th century. It's belonged to the Eltz family for more than 850 years. It's estimated to have passed through about 33 generations. The castle preserves its original medieval structure. Today it's open to tourism with guided tours through its historic rooms. It remains the property of descendants of the founding family. It's one of the best preserved castles in Germany.
A severe ice storm affected Michigan, United States, in late March of 2025. Ice accumulations reached up to approximately 1 inch. The weight of the ice caused trees to bend or break. This led to downed power lines and left more than 400,000 customers without service. Authorities opened warming centers in churches and schools.
In China, cases have been recorded of fish swimming in flooded streets after heavy rains. Some come from nearby ponds or have been released by people.
Some electric scooters used in shared micromobility services can move on their own toward the user after being requested through an application. Although they are not fully autonomous, since they are remotely guided by human operators, this system has been tested by companies such as GoX and Tortoise in the United States cities like Atlanta. To maintain stability during the driverless trip, they incorporate 2 additional side wheels. The technology allows the user not to have to walk to the scooter as it approaches by itself. In May of 2017, a temporary zip line was installed on the Eiffel Tower as part of a promotion for the French Open. The structure had a length of approximately 2,624 feet and started from the second level of the monument, crossing the Champ de Mars. During the ride, participants reached speeds of up to 56 miles per hour, and the trip lasted approximately 60 seconds.
Giuseppe Meazza Stadium, also known as San Siro, is located in Milan, Italy, and is home to the teams Milan and Inter Milan. It was designed in 1925 by the architect Ulisse Stacchini and the engineer Alberto Cugini. Its structure includes helical ramps and cylindrical towers that give it a visual appearance similar to shock absorbers. These ramps function as external stairways to access the upper stands. Ice soccer is not an official sport in Germany, but it is practiced as a recreational activity on frozen rinks. In some informal events, teams such as Lok and HSV participate, with 6 players per side. The ball used is smaller and heavier than a traditional soccer ball, adapted to slide on ice. Players wear helmets, elbow pads, shin guards, and shoulder pads for protection during the game. Protective gear is also used for the buttocks and hips due to frequent backward falls. The dynamics combine elements of fast-paced soccer and hockey.
In Rotterfane, Lower Saxony, Germany, a 6-year-old boy with a terminal illness expressed his wish to see a Harley-Davidson motorcycle. His family posted the request on social media, hoping for a small response. The call quickly went viral. On July 24, 2021, close to 20,000 motorcyclists from Germany, Austria, France, Switzerland, and Italy came to visit him. The motorcycle community came together to fulfill his dream. The incident occurred in Monterrey, Mexico, under the Gonzalitos overpass. The visible smoke was caused by burning trash beneath the structure. This type of fire generates high temperatures that can damage the pavement. Asphalt is not designed to withstand intense heat for prolonged periods. This is how stop motion was done in the film Kubo and the Two Strings, directed by Travis Knight. Each scene required manually moving the figures frame by frame, which took days or weeks. The process is so slow that animators change clothes between takes, as seen in behind-the-scenes videos. The film combined traditional techniques with 3D printing and digital touch-ups. It was produced by the studio Leica, known for handcrafted animation. In Singapore, there is a themed cafe called USD Cafe, located on East Coast Road. Its design simulates being upside down, with inverted furniture and decor. The name USD refers to upside down, not to the currency. It is known for offering striking photographic experiences. It also serves Ipoh white coffee and brunch options. It is the first cafe with this theme in Singapore. At the Manchester Arena in the United Kingdom, a strength competition known as the Car Walk was held. Polish athlete Mateusz Kieliszkowski carried a motorless vehicle designed to simulate the weight of a real car. In the same event, Ukrainian athlete Oleksiy Novikov also lifted a similar car. Both are considered among the strongest men in the world. The event consists of walking while carrying the structure on the shoulders. It was part of the Giants Live World Tour in 2019. It is an extreme demonstration of physical power and endurance. In February, a video recorded in China during a technology festival went viral. It showed the humanoid robot Unitree H1 moving erratically toward attendees. The incident caused panic among the public. According to the organizers, it was a failure in the control system. In Magallanes, Chile, a herd of up to 30,000 sheep was recorded crossing a roadway. Worldwide, there are about 1 billion sheep and more than 8 billion humans. This equals roughly 1 sheep for every 8 people. The countries with the most sheep are China, India, Australia, Iran, Nigeria, and Chad. Russia and Argentina have smaller numbers. In some countries, there are more sheep than inhabitants, such as New Zealand, Mongolia, Iceland, Mauritania, and Uruguay. This is a common phenomenon in livestock regions with low population density.
The rotor is a classic attraction at Luna Park in Sydney, Australia. It consists of a rotating cylinder where visitors are pressed against the wall when the floor is removed. This effect is not due to centrifugal force, but to the centripetal force acting toward the center of rotation. The sensation of being pushed against the wall comes from the inertia of the moving body. The rotor spins at about 33 revolutions per minute, generating acceleration close to 3 times gravity. Its design uses physical principles to create an intense experience.
The banana tattoo is a form of ephemeral art that uses the natural oxidation of the fruit. By piercing the banana peel with a thumbtack, needle, or other sharp object, enzymes are activated that react with oxygen. This generates dark marks within a few minutes, allowing temporary drawings to be created.
The Antonov AN-225, known as Mriya, was a transport aircraft designed in the Soviet Union in the 1980s. It had a wingspan of approximately 290 feet and a length of about 276 feet. With a maximum takeoff weight of around 1,411,000 pounds, it was the heaviest aircraft ever built.
The Indian giant squirrel, also called the Malabar squirrel, is a species endemic to the tropical forests of India. It mainly inhabits the western and eastern Ghats. Adults can exceed 3 feet in length, including the tail, and reach up to around 6.6 pounds in weight. Its fur is notably colorful. This variation depends on the subspecies and the environment. It is an arboreal and solitary species, difficult to observe in the wild.
This is an F-16 Fighting Falcon fighter jet, anchored to the ground and revving its turbine. Designed by General Dynamics and produced by Lockheed Martin, it is one of the most widely used fighter aircraft in the world. Under optimal conditions, without external loads and at high altitude, it can reach up to approximately 1,500 miles per hour. That speed exceeds Mach 2.
This is the Stupid Taller Bicycle, built by Richie Trimble in Los Angeles, United States. It measures around 20 feet to the seat and holds the Guinness record as the tallest bicycle in the world. Its structure is vertical and requires a ladder to mount. To dismount, it must lean against a wall or post. Due to its size, it needs escorts to move safely during urban events. It has difficulty stopping precisely, which represents a risk. It was designed as a technical and artistic feat, not for everyday use.
This duck appears to be feeding the fish, but it is not doing so intentionally. Ducks have difficulty swallowing dry food, so they often moisten it in water. When they do this, they repeatedly submerge their bills. Fish take advantage of that moment to steal part of the food. This behavior is common in shared environments. It does not imply cooperation between species or an intention to feed. It is simply a coincidence of habits.
The Infinity Wall is located in the lobby of Nexon University in Seoul, South Korea. It is a digital installation created by the South Korean company District. It consists of an LED screen approximately 98 feet wide by around 23 feet tall. Its design combines visual narratives, real-time data, and atmospheric effects. The goal is to communicate the values of the company Nexon Tire.
The Scoppio del Carro is an Easter tradition celebrated in Florence, Italy. Its origin is linked to the First Crusade more than 900 years ago. During the ceremony, a mechanical dove called the Colombina represents the Holy Spirit. It flies from the main altar to a cart filled with fireworks. Upon arrival, it ignites the pyrotechnics as a symbol of blessing and renewal. It is one of the most emblematic celebrations in the city.
The Hubertus Hotel is located in Valdora, in the Dolomites region of Italy. It is famous for its pools with panoramic mountain views. In summer, hiking is practiced, and in winter, skiing on nearby slopes. It offers rooms with balconies, a spa, and a restaurant. Access to the Plan de Corone slopes is included. Prices vary depending on the season and room type. One night can cost more than $400. In medieval combat with two-handed swords, knights wore armor so resistant that conventional cuts were largely ineffective. For this reason, techniques such as half-swording were used, allowing the sword to be used like a spear or a mace. Blows with the pommel or the guard were also used to stun the opponent, even against the helmet. Thrusts were aimed at the joints of the armor, where it was more vulnerable. Chainmail was worn underneath to protect those areas. Disarms using hooks and twists were part of close-quarters combat. Pigeons are not adapted to swim or float, so they rarely move in water. If they fall into it, they usually try to get out quickly by flapping. This movement may appear like traveling across the surface, but it is not a habitual strategy. Unlike aquatic birds, pigeons do not use their feet to propel themselves in water. They most likely react instinctively to escape. Probably recorded in Indiana, United States, this large firework is part of 4th of July celebrations. On that date, many cities in the state organize fireworks displays at dusk. Events like these are common in Indianapolis, Zionsville, Lebanon, and other localities. The displays include large-scale fireworks accompanied by music and community activities. The 4th of July commemorates the independence of the United States since 1776. This is a Buddha head among the roots of a fig tree at Wat Mahatat Temple in Ayutthaya, Thailand. It most likely was left abandoned, and the tree grew around it over time. Today, it is one of the most photographed icons of the site. There are currently more than 10,000 satellites in orbit around the Earth. They perform functions such as communication, navigation, and weather monitoring. They are also used for Earth observation and scientific research. Most are in low Earth orbit at less than approximately 1,243 miles in altitude. Others are in higher or geostationary orbits. The latter remain fixed over specific points on the planet. In Thailand, some street stalls prepare pancakes with figures using colored batter. This technique allows decorative designs to be created on the hot griddle. They also sell slushy-style frozen drinks. To prevent them from freezing completely, they are kept in constant motion.
This is achieved with machines that agitate the liquid and maintain its granular texture.
The Flying Kiss is an attraction located in Wulong, China, composed of two rotating sculptures that rise until they meet in a symbolic kiss. Each figure functions as an observation platform for visitors. Although they appear to be assembled in an urban environment, they are situated on a cliff nearly 3,280 feet high. The sculptures measure more than 164 feet.
This is gunpowder art by American artist Danny Shervin. More than painting, it is a combustion engraving technique. The design is formed with gunpowder on canvas or wood and then carefully ignited. The combustion burns the surface material and leaves permanent marks. The result depends on fire control and precision in the layout.
Recorded in time-lapse, this video shows Lake Michigan frozen in the United States. It captures the exact moment when a large section of ice cracks and separates from the rest. This phenomenon occurs due to temperature changes, wind, or internal currents. Russian artist Slava Zaitsev is known for creating art with unconventional materials. He uses staples, dry leaves, sand, and magazine clippings in his works. His pieces are classified as collages and do not employ traditional paint.
The Avenue of the Baobabs is in the Manabi region, western Madagascar. It is located between the towns of Morondava and Beloni-Tsiri-Bihina. The trees belong to the species Adanzonia grandidaria, endemic to the island. They reach heights of up to around 98 feet. Some specimens are more than 800 years old. It is one of the most iconic landscapes of Madagascar.
In the Almaty region of Kazakhstan, near Kegon, a structure known as an ice volcano forms every winter. This tower reaches up to approximately 46 feet in height and originates from the continuous expulsion of water from an artesian spring. When the water comes into contact with cold air, it freezes and creates a conical shape, similar to a volcano. Although it is called a volcano, it has no volcanic origin or deep geothermal activity. Its formation is due to the natural pressure of shallow thermal waters. It is a striking example of the interaction between geology and extreme climate.
This is a diorama made with modeling clay around a cardboard toilet paper tube. The cardboard tube serves as the structural base for building scenes or characters. This type of craft is common in recycled art projects and school activities. Details can be added with paper, fabric, or paint. Modeling clay allows precise shaping and color.
Firefighters use different equipment depending on the type of emergency, such as structural fires, wildfires, or traffic accidents. Each scenario requires specific protection, from fire-resistant suits to rescue tools. Although it is said that they take 4 minutes to gear up, the actual time is usually shorter. On average, a firefighter can put on basic gear in 1 minute, or up to 1 minute 30 seconds. This time varies depending on experience and the type of suit.
This video was recorded in Mumbai, India, and shows a dessert made with liquid nitrogen. It is prepared with crushed cookies and ice cream that freezes instantly upon contact with the nitrogen. The process generates a visible cloud of vapor that decorates the dish. This technique belongs to molecular gastronomy. It is popular at street stalls for its visual and sensory effect.
Queen wasps build nests using wood fibers transformed into a paper-like pulp. To do this, they tear small pieces of wood with their mandibles, then soften them in their mouths by mixing them with saliva. This mixture hardens as it dries and forms the walls of the nest. The behavior is typical of species such as those of the genus Polistes.
The Splinter sports car was created by American designer Joe Harmon. It is fully functional and built mostly from wood. It includes the body, chassis, suspension, wheels, and interior made from this material. The project was inspired by the de Havilland Mosquito aircraft from the Second World War. It was developed as a graduate project in North Carolina.
There are automatic machines capable of cooking fried rice in a programmed manner. These machines allow sautéing, frying, and stewing with touch control. They are used in home kitchens and restaurants. They make it easier to prepare dishes such as fried rice with minimal human intervention.
Apollo 17 was the last crewed mission to reach the moon, launching on December 7, 1972 from Cape Canaveral and landing in the Taurus-Littrow Valley on December 11. Astronauts Eugene Cernan and Harrison Schmitt conducted 3 lunar walks, collected geological samples, and carried out scientific studies. The lunar module Challenger lifted off from the surface on December 14th, marking the end of human activity on the moon. Cernan was the last human being to walk on it before returning to the module. Since then, no human has set foot on the lunar surface, making Apollo 17 the close of an era of direct exploration.
In cities such as Beijing, road blockages are common and can involve buses and poorly positioned cars. The lack of traffic lights can contribute to disorder, but it is not always the main cause. In China, measures have been implemented to improve traffic, such as fines and surveillance systems.
This is the art of throwing rice. It is a fleeting art form. First, mandala-like drawings are made using rice. For the drawing to take on a horizontal position in the air, the board must be leveraged while throwing the rice.
The frozen forest of Foss Point Lake is in Louisiana, United States. It is a swampy area where it is normally warm. In February of 2021, an unusual cold wave covered the cypress trees with ice. The landscape became surreal and was widely documented. This type of freezing is rare in the region.
In New Delhi, India, some drivers have cultivated gardens on the roofs of their rickshaws as a creative expression. These gardens can provide shade, but there is no evidence that they regulate interior temperature. In Bangkok, Thailand, taxi cooperatives converted out-of-service vehicles into urban gardens. This action was a symbolic protest against the lack of government support.
In Yeppoon, Queensland, Australia, the company Surflakes built a wave-generating machine in an artificial lake. It uses a piston weighing approximately 3,086,000 pounds that creates concentric waves. It can produce up to 2,400 waves per hour. The waves reach heights of up to around 7.9 feet. The system allows the creation of different types of waves for surfers of all levels. The project aims to expand to other countries with demand for surfing.
The fastest animal on Earth is the cheetah, reaching speeds of up to approximately 69 miles per hour over short distances. In the sea, the sailfish is the king, with recorded speeds exceeding 42 miles per hour, creating waves in its aquatic environment. In the air, the peregrine falcon takes the crown, as it can reach more than 149 miles per hour in a dive. These speedsters of nature show the impressive diversity of the animal kingdom. This appears to be a Toyota Land Cruiser driving on ice, but it is actually a scale vehicle. It is a remote-controlled model that closely replicates the design of the original off-road vehicle. The Land Cruiser was produced in the 1980s and 1990s and is known for its durability. RC replicas are usually made at a 1:12 scale and can include functional suspension and traction.
The sawfish, from the Pristidae family, is known for its toothed, saw-shaped snout that it uses to hunt. It swings this appendage laterally to injure its prey before consuming it. It can measure up to approximately 20 feet, although some species reach only about 10 feet. It inhabits shallow, muddy waters, both saltwater and freshwater. It is found in tropical regions of Africa, Australia, and the Caribbean. This fish combines sensory abilities with mechanical strength to feed.
During hyperinflation in Venezuela, especially between 2017 and 2020, images of stacks of bolivars thrown into the streets as waste went viral. The currency lost almost all of its value, and many bills fell out of circulation. In 2019, Venezuela recorded inflation above 7,000%. The loss of value of the bolivar was one of the most severe on the continent. Recorded in Istanbul, Turkey, this is a bungee jump from a platform approximately 328 feet high. This extreme activity consists of leaping into the void while attached to an elastic cord designed to absorb the impact. In Istanbul, jumps are carried out from mobile cranes installed in areas such as Kilios. Certified operators ensure safety measures during the jump. OpenDrop is a digital microfluidics platform developed by Swiss engineer Urs Gaudens. It uses electrowetting technology to move droplets of liquid across a surface. The system can be controlled digitally or with a joystick. It is an open project and still in an experimental phase. It has potential applications in digital biology and laboratory automation.
This is the Hanging Temple of Xuankong, located in Shanxi, China. It was built more than 1,500 years ago during the Northern Wei Dynasty. It is embedded in a cliff at approximately 246 feet in height. Its architecture defies gravity, with beams hidden within the rock. The temple combines Buddhism, Taoism, and Confucianism in a single complex. It was built by the monk Liao Ran. It is one of the most unique religious monuments in China.
These are the artificial trees of Gardens by the Bay in Singapore, known as super trees. There are 18 structures measuring between approximately 82 and 164 feet in height. 11 of them have solar panels that generate electricity for the park. Some function as ventilation ducts for nearby greenhouses. They also collect rainwater for irrigation. They are covered with plants and vines that form vertical gardens. 5D cinema in China offers an advanced multisensory experience. It combines three-dimensional imagery with physical effects, such as wind, vibration, and seat movement. It may also include mist, scents, and synchronized lights. These theaters seek total immersion for the viewer. They are common in shopping malls and theme parks.
This chick recorded in Colombia belongs to the ash-colored morningbird species. Its plumage and movements mimic those of a poisonous caterpillar. This camouflage is an example of Batesian mimicry. Harmless animals adopt the appearance of toxic ones to avoid predators. The phenomenon was documented by researcher Gustavo Londoño. It is one of the most unusual cases of defense in neotropical birds.
The Walkie-Talkie Building, located in London, was designed by Raffaele Vignoli and is known for its curved shape. In 2013, its facade reflected sunlight with such intensity that it caused real damage. A car suffered partial melting, and some nearby businesses reported impacts. The phenomenon resembles the effect of a solar magnifying glass by concentrating rays at a single point.
At Lake Baikal in Russia, a phenomenon informally known as the breathing of Baikal has been recorded. It occurs in early spring when the ice begins to melt. Wind creates undulations on the frozen surface that appear to move like water. The ice layer is thick but partially melted, giving it flexibility. There is no official name or detailed studies on its structure. It is believed to be formed by sections connected by thinner ice.
Javier is a young Guatemalan man whose physical condition has been shared on social media. He's attributed a rare syndrome, or one that has not been formally diagnosed. Some compare him to gigantism, a hormonal disorder that occurs in childhood. It is caused by excessive secretion of growth hormone by the pituitary gland. It results in excessive growth of bones, hands, feet, and face.
Lake Superior, part of the Great Lakes, is shared by Canada and the United States. In Michigan, phenomena known as ice shove or ice shelf have been recorded. These occur when wind and waves push floating ice blocks toward the shore. As they pile up, the blocks push against each other and move onto land. Although they are called ice tsunamis, they are not tsunamis in the technical sense. The phenomenon has been recorded in several northern regions of the United States.
Movable mannequins for clothing stores are available online in a wide range of prices. Simpler models, such as torsos or inflatable versions, can cost around $50. However, full-body mannequins, articulated models, or those with realistic finishes often exceed $100. The price depends on the material, design, and functionality. They are essential tools for displaying garments professionally.
This is very likely the blue crystal ice cave of the Vatnajökull Glacier in Iceland. These caves form through seasonal ice melting and change every year. Access varies depending on glacier conditions, which are constantly evolving. In summer, some caves flood or collapse due to rising temperatures. For safety reasons, they are only explored in winter, between November and March. Vatnajökull is the largest glacier in Europe. Comet Atlas was visible in January of 2025. It reached its perihelion on the 13th and could be observed from the southern hemisphere. In the sky, lights in motion can also be seen that are not stars. Many correspond to satellites, space stations, or rocket debris. This group is colloquially known as space traffic. They are visible in clear skies without light pollution.
This is Maho Beach on the Caribbean island of St. Martin, located on the Dutch side known as Sint Maarten. The northern side of the island belongs to France. Maho Beach is famous for being next to the runway of Princess Juliana Airport. Airplanes pass at very low altitude over beachgoers during landing. Next to the beach, the Sunset Bar broadcasts communications between pilots and the control tower over loudspeakers. It is one of the most unique destinations for observing commercial aviation.
Central Park in New York requires an annual investment of close to $58 million for its maintenance. This budget covers cleaning, landscaping, restoration, security, and educational programs. Most of the funds come from private donations managed by the Central Park Conservancy. The park receives millions of visitors each year and is one of the most iconic urban spaces in the world.
The artwork Comedian by Italian artist Maurizio Cattelan was presented at Art Basel Miami Beach in 2019 and consists of a banana taped to a wall. 3 editions were produced. 2 were sold for $120,000 each and the third for $150,000. American artist David Datuna ate one of them as part of a performative action titled Hungry Artist, which was publicly documented.
In Kentucky, United States, the use of the R-44 Raven helicopter has been recorded in agricultural spraying tasks.
This model, manufactured by Robinson Helicopter Company, can be adapted to disperse liquids such as insecticides. Its efficiency allows it to cover several acres in just a few minutes. Comparatively, it can perform in 30 minutes the work that 4 people would do manually in one day. The use of helicopters speeds up spraying over large areas. It is a common technique in rural areas of the United States.
Rolling ball clocks indicate the time using tracks and moving spheres. The lower track marks the hours, the middle one the minutes in multiples of 5 or 10, and the upper one the minutes from 1 to 4. Each minute, an electric motor lifts a ball to the upper track. Every 5 minutes, that track tilts and transfers the balls to the next one. The process continues until the full hour is updated. This type of clock was popularized by Harley Mayenshine in the 1970s.
Some streets have water sprinklers to deal with winter conditions. This system is used in cold regions, such as Nagaoka. It sprays warm water onto the pavement to melt accumulated snow. This prevents ice from forming on the surface. The goal is to reduce skidding and vehicle accidents. The water comes from natural or underground sources.
The image of carp following a duck comes from real videos recorded in ponds where koi fish are fed. The first carp approached the duck looking for food, and the rest followed due to group reflex, a common behavior in schooling fish. It is not a rare phenomenon, although it is visually striking. Black swans surrounded by fish have also been recorded while they soak bread in the water in places such as Swan Lake Resort in Taiwan. The fish swarm to snatch pieces of food.
The C1 is a 2-wheeled electric vehicle developed by Lit Motors in San Francisco, designed as a hybrid between a motorcycle and a car, thanks to its enclosed cabin and stabilization system. It uses 2 large gyroscopes that generate torque of up to approximately 1,254 pound-feet, allowing it to remain balanced even after lateral impacts. A gyroscope is a device that maintains the orientation of its axis through the conservation of angular momentum, enabling the stabilization of systems subjected to external forces.
The Lena Pillars, located in Yakutia, Russia, are natural rock formations that reach up to around 328 feet in height. They are composed of limestone and shale and formed more than 500 million years ago. Their current appearance is the result of river erosion, freezing, thawing, and extreme temperature variations. Water seeps into the cracks, freezes, and expands, widening the spaces between the rocks. This process has gradually isolated the pillars from one another over time. They are considered a natural heritage site due to their geological and scenic value.
The Gaboon viper, scientifically named Bitis gabonica, is native to Central and Western Africa. It is known for having the longest fangs among venomous snakes, reaching up to around 2 inches in length. Its venom is potent and can be lethal, although it rarely attacks humans. It has a robust body and highly effective camouflage patterns. It inhabits humid forests and wooded areas.
The Sign Aloud is a device that translates American Sign Language into English. It was developed by students at the University of Washington. It consists of a pair of gloves with thin, flexible sensors on each finger. These sensors detect the movements of the signs, and the information is transmitted via Bluetooth to an application on a cell phone. The system converts gestures into voice or text. It is a tool designed to improve communication between deaf and hearing people.
The Ice Angel was recorded at New Buffalo Lake in Michigan, United States. The figure went viral due to its shape resembling an angel with wings. It's believed to have formed over a structure such as a post or log at the end of the pier. Environmental moisture accumulated on the surface and froze in stages. When backlit, an opaque shape can be seen at the center. There's no evidence of human intervention in its creation. It's a natural phenomenon caused by extreme cold and specific conditions.
Arctic sea ice melts every summer and partially recovers in winter, but this recovery has declined over the years. Since 1979, its extent has declined by an average of 12% per decade. In addition, the thickness of the ice has steadily decreased, making it more fragile. Although some years show a slowdown in surface loss, the ice remains thinner and less resilient. Since 2007, its structure has changed abruptly from thick and ridged to thin and flat. This transformation limits its ability to regenerate. There are gym machines designed to simulate the movement of surfing. These devices allow training of balance, core strength, and coordination on a moving platform. Although they do not precisely replicate water surfing, they imitate key aspects of moving on a board.
Recorded in British Columbia, Canada, this video shows 2 cyclists riding along a mountain route. The region is known for its scenic trails and terrain ideal for adventure cycling. Places such as Whistler and Myra Canyon attract athletes from around the world. British Columbia offers varied landscapes, from forests to rocky peaks. Mountain biking is a popular activity in its natural parks.
The Metropole Parasol is a structure located in Seville, Spain, designed by the German architect Jürgen Mayer. It is known as Las Setas de la Encarnación because of its undulating shape. It features an elevated walkway and a viewpoint at the top. From the air, it stands out among the houses of the historic district. The elevated plaza has close to approximately 32,300 square feet of surface area, and the structure reaches more than approximately 66 feet in height. It is one of the city's contemporary architectural icons.
In Russia, an athlete lifts weights underwater as part of physical training. The water above him does not add directly to the weight being lifted, since buoyant force reduces the apparent effort. Buoyancy depends on the volume displaced, not on the water covering the body. In Palawan, the Philippines, it is common to see informal ice cream vendors on beaches and in natural parks. Some use polystyrene boxes to keep the contents cold. In aquatic areas, these boxes can also function as improvised flotation devices. Although they are not designed for that use, their lightweight and buoyancy allow movement in the water.
Anthony Howe is an American kinetic sculptor recognized for his wind-powered works. His pieces are made primarily of stainless steel and occasionally fiberglass. He uses thin blades that are bent or twisted to capture the movement of the air. The sculptures respond even to gentle breezes. Their design is created using digital tools and plasma cutting.
A lithium battery can catch fire if it is punctured accidentally or intentionally. When the internal insulating layers are breached, a short circuit is generated. This short circuit causes thermal runaway that rapidly raises the temperature. The heat triggers chemical reactions that release flammable gases, which can produce fire, dense smoke, and in some cases an explosion. Improper handling of batteries is highly dangerous. Ho Chi Minh City, popularly known as Saigon, retains that name among its inhabitants. Historically, the area was called Pre Nocor and belonged to the Khmer Kingdom, linked to Cambodia. Today, it is one of the most important cities in Vietnam. Heavy traffic is characteristic of its urban life. In February, a video recorded in Aceh, Indonesia, went viral. It showed a figure in the sea that many believed to be a sea monster or dragon. However, its nature was not confirmed. A plausible explanation is that it was a flock of starlings. These birds form murmurations that create complex aerial shapes. The Alaska Railroad Gold Star Service is a tourist experience in the United States that offers rail cars with glass roofs and open-air platforms. The route between Anchorage and Seward passes through landscapes of mountains, forests, and lakes. The rail cars include dining service, a tour guide, and beverages during the journey. The service operates during the summer season and is popular among visitors for its comfort and views. The price per person is around $260. It is one of the most scenic rail routes in the country. A destruction race known as a demolition derby is a popular competition in the United States, including events in Indiana. It consists of multiple modified vehicles crashing into one another within a closed arena. The objective is to be the last car still running. Dangerous elements such as glass are removed, and bodies are reinforced to protect drivers. All participants deliberately collide until they are disabled. The competition ends when only one vehicle continues to move. In July of 2017, a video went viral showing a truck sunk into asphalt in the Gulf region, possibly in Kuwait. Temperatures exceeded 122 degrees Fahrenheit. It is most likely that the weight of the truck created pressure on a weakened surface.
A drop of pond water viewed under a microscope reveals a complex ecosystem. Stagnant fresh water contains abundant organic matter and various microorganisms. Among the most common are paramecia, which move using cilia. Planarians may also appear, although they do not always fit within a single drop. These are known for their ability to regenerate body parts, including the head. The aquatic microscopic world is diverse and fascinating.
The video shows a line of lights in the sky over Colombia. These are Starlink satellites from the American company SpaceX. The satellites are part of a constellation designed to provide broadband internet. The service aims to cover remote areas with low connectivity. After launch, the satellites travel in a visible formation for several days. Bottlenose dolphins inhabit warm waters, such as those of Costa Rica, especially in areas like Golfo Dulce. It is common to see large groups swimming near boats or people. They emit whistles, clicks, and pulses to communicate, orient themselves, and hunt.
These sounds are part of their complex acoustic system. Each dolphin develops a unique signature whistle. This whistle functions as individual identification, and is comparable to a personal name in social terms. This is Cuban Felix Girola, known for building very tall bicycles in Havana. One of his creations measures around 19.7 feet and is built on a conventional bicycle.
There are ultra-realistic models of hands and feet designed for the practice of manicures and pedicures. They're made of silicone or PVC, with a texture similar to human skin, and include interchangeable nails to simulate real techniques. They're used by stylists and students to refine skills without human models.
The Bosco Verticale is in Milan, Italy, and consists of 2 residential towers. It houses about 800 trees, 5,000 shrubs, and 15,000 plants. Its vegetation is equivalent to approximately 215,000 square feet of green areas. It was designed by architect Stefano Boeri. The irrigation system uses recycled water from the building. It is a notable example of urban ecological architecture.
A viral video shows a door suspended on the slope of a ravine in Shandong, China, which supposedly belonged to an explosives warehouse. It is claimed that it was originally at ground level, but that mining activity excavated the terrain. Although Shandong has an industrial and mining history, there is no verifiable evidence confirming this specific story.
This time-lapse video shows the Earth as seen from the Moon, based on NASA data. It was created by scientist James O'Donoghue using computer simulations. The Moon rotates on its axes in approximately 27 Earth days. That is why we always see the same face from Earth. The so-called dark side is not always in shadow. It is illuminated when the Moon is positioned between the Earth and the Sun. This occurs during the new moon phase.
The luxury wedding gardens of Lemeria in Doha, Qatar, are an example of the destination wedding industry. This company specializes in designing and setting up elaborate scenarios for weddings anywhere in the world. The business is based on creating personalized, high-end experiences for clients seeking a unique celebration.
This German 50 million mark banknote dates from 1924, during the hyperinflation of the Weimar Republic. The crisis reached its peak in 1923, when prices doubled within hours. Banknotes of up to 100 trillion marks were printed due to the monetary collapse. Money lost almost all value, and the economy was paralyzed.
The dancer known as Phoebe has stood out in robot dance-style competitions. He participates in animation and popping battles, where mechanical movements are imitated with extreme precision. He has competed in events such as the Unite Robot and Animation Championship. His style combines technique, theatricality, and body control.
Bubble soccer was created in Norway in 2011 by Henrik Elvestad and Johan Golden as part of a comedy program. It consists of playing soccer while wearing inflatable bubbles that cover the torso, allowing players to bump into each other. Although it follows rules similar to soccer, physical contact is part of the game. Variants include ice bubble soccer and rodeo bubble soccer. These versions are less common and are not formally regulated.
At the Opa-locka Executive Airport in Miami, an unusual scene was recorded involving an out-of-service airplane. An excavator operator was maneuvering a discarded Learjet as if it were a toy. The aircraft was destined for scrapping and had no operational use. The action took place in an isolated area of the airport.
Recorded in Mandalay, Burma, this is a human claw machine. The ticket to participate costs 5,000 kyats, which is equivalent to $3, and you are allowed to take all the bags of candy you can grip with your legs and arms. NASCAR cars in the United States can exceed 186 miles per hour, although they are regulated by safety rules. The oval track speed record was achieved by Colin Brown in 2013 in a prototype, reaching approximately 223 miles per hour. In Formula One, Valtteri Bottas reached around 235 miles per hour in Baku in 2016. Formula One cars are faster in top speed and acceleration. NASCAR circuits are oval-shaped and favor sustained speeds. However, they do not allow higher peaks than those of Formula One. The Milky Way is the galaxy that hosts our solar system, located in the Orion Arm. On clear nights without light pollution, it can be seen with the naked eye as a diffuse band across the sky. This appearance is due to the concentration of stars in the galactic plane. Visibility improves during the new moon and far from urban areas. From Earth, we see only a portion of its structure. This is how clams that live on land or in intertidal zones move. They use a muscular structure called a foot to push themselves over sand or wet mud.
This foot is elongated and in some species has a reddish color similar to a tongue. Although they do not walk like animals with legs, they can move slowly to burrow or change location. It is a useful adaptation to avoid predators or drying out.
The Coimbatore market in Chennai, India, is one of the largest wholesale centers in Asia. It specializes in fruits, vegetables, and flowers, with high activity throughout the year. In season, large volumes of mangoes are traded, some of notable size.
This time-lapse video recorded in Vancouver, Canada, shows a rock eroded by water over different periods, 15, 25, and 50 years. Water erosion depends on the type of rock and constant flow.
In the River Tyne, United Kingdom, a hopper barge has been recorded opening its bottom gate to unload materials. This type of vessel is designed to dredge the riverbed, removing sediment and increasing its depth to facilitate navigation. The extracted material is released into designated areas through this gate. Although some barges have been used to dump debris at sea, that is not their primary function. These operations are regulated by environmental standards.
Transparent pool tables have been patented by the Australian company Elevate Innovations. They use a material called vitric, which consists of glass coated with a transparent mesh. This surface allows the balls to roll in a way similar to traditional wool felt. At the Forum Istanbul shopping mall in Istanbul, Turkey, there are stairs decorated like piano keys. When stepped on, they emit sounds similar to those of a real piano. This installation aims to encourage the use of stairs instead of elevators. These are edible water droplets called uho, created by Skipping Rock's lab in London. They are made with sodium alginate and calcium chloride, forming a gelatinous membrane. The process is based on spherification, a technique from molecular gastronomy. Solutions of both compounds are mixed, encapsulating the water in a spherical form. It can contain liquids such as water or beverages. There are mobile gyms for dogs that offer exercise sessions in adapted vehicles. These spaces help channel the energy of hyperactive dogs or those with destructive behaviors. Although they are not clinical therapies, they do contribute to physical and emotional well-being. One known service is Rough Run, active in the United States.
This image shows a curious case of pareidolia, a bag that appears to be bowing. Pareidolia is a psychological phenomenon in which we see familiar forms in common objects. In this case, the folds and posture of the bag evoke the figure of a person bowing. This is a multi-level aquarium designed so that water rises above the base level through negative pressure. A pump is used to extract air from the upper container, creating a vacuum and pulling the water upward. The system requires airtight sealing to function properly. It is an uncommon structure in home aquariums. The octopus has 8 limbs that are arms, not tentacles, because the suckers are distributed along their entire length, unlike tentacles which have suckers only at the tip. Studies indicate that 6 of these arms are used mainly to explore and manipulate objects, while the other 2 serve locomotor functions, allowing it to walk along the seafloor. Recorded in the United States, this is probably the largest watermelon in the world, with a weight of approximately 288 pounds. To achieve very large fruits, special fertilizers are used. Some are known as compost tea and are applied through irrigation.
Children with high abilities often learn to read very early and prefer the company of older people. They may also show strong memory, imagination, and a tendency to question authority. Some studies mention that they can be demanding or emotionally sensitive.
In Singapore, there is a dining experience called cable car sky dining, where guests eat inside a cable car cabin that travels along the route between Mount Faber and Sentosa. The trip lasts about 1 hour and offers panoramic views of the city. The menu varies depending on the package chosen, with prices ranging between $60 and $90. The experience includes dishes served in several courses, while the cabin moves along the route. It is not a traditional restaurant, but a private dining experience in motion.
The Scorpion gaming chair is a station designed for personal computer users and gamers, with a metal structure that imitates the shape of a scorpion. It includes an adjustable tail that serves as support for up to 5 monitors, customizable LED lights, and a zero-gravity style electric reclining system. It's sold online, and its price is around $3,300, depending on the model and the seller.
Some solar panels are designed to rotate automatically and follow the path of the sun. In regions with snow, operators can manually place them in a vertical position to help the snow slide off. This helps maintain energy efficiency without physical intervention. Inspections and maintenance are carried out regularly.
Lake Moke is located near Queenstown in the Otago region of New Zealand. It is known for its peaceful landscapes and clear skies, ideal for astronomical observation. From this location, time-lapse images of the Milky Way have been captured.
Sudhakar Kanaboina is an automobile designer recognized for his unique and extravagant creations. He has built vehicles with unusual shapes, such as a camera, a pool table, and a hamburger. His museum, Sudhakar's Museum, houses more than 60 cars with surprising designs.
The Kishkwar Trail in Jammu and Kashmir, India, is a mountain route carved into the side of a cliff. It has a rocky and sandy surface with no protective edges and is exposed to strong winds. It is known for its poor conditions and high risk of landslides. The gorge reaches several hundred feet of vertical drop.
Free-tailed bats, scientifically known as Tatarida brasiliensis, have been shown to emit ultrasonic sounds to interfere with the echolocation of other bats when competing for food. This behavior has been documented by researchers from the University of Maryland and Wake Forest University. This acoustic interference can cause a bat to lose its prey in midair. This is an old bicycle trapped by the trunk of a tree. It happens when a young tree grows around a fixed object. Over the years, the trunk partially envelops it. The scene reflects decades of silent growth. In China, children begin their sports training from an early age. In specialized schools, they practice coordination and flexibility exercises. This training develops advanced athletic skills. A viral video shows an alleged police station hidden behind a mirror in the New York City subway, but there is no verifiable evidence confirming this claim. Although some stations have police presence, the use of one-way mirrors to conceal them has not been officially documented. Spy mirrors, however, are used in places such as casinos, stores, and interrogation rooms. Their purpose is to allow surveillance without being detected.
Recorded in Texas, United States, this video shows Midland police destroying illegal fireworks. Approximately 19,840 pounds were seized by court order. The detonation was carried out during the day for safety reasons. It was not intended as a public spectacle. The process lasted several days and was supervised by explosives experts.
A viral video shows a car supposedly damaged by a heat wave in Italy, with trim and headlights melted. However, this explanation is unlikely. Modern headlights are made of polycarbonate that can withstand temperatures of up to approximately 275 degrees Fahrenheit. Heat waves do not reach temperatures high enough to cause that type of deformation. It is more likely that the vehicle was near a fire or a direct heat source. In Beijing, China, a humanoid robot named Chio conducted an orchestra. The music it performed was created using artificial intelligence, demonstrating another step forward in collaboration between humans and machines. Although critical reception of the music was mixed, this type of experiment is crucial for exploring how artificial intelligence systems can learn and generate new forms of art. This is a kinball match between Spain, Japan, and Switzerland. The sport was created in Canada in 1986. 3 teams with 4 players each participate on the court. It is played on a court measuring approximately 66 by 66 feet, with a ball around 4 feet in diameter. The attacking team throws the ball while calling out the opposing team, which must catch it before it touches the ground. If they fail, the other 2 teams score a point. Canada, Japan, France, and Switzerland are major powers in the sport. The black stick insect, scientifically called Perufus maschulte, is a species endemic to the Cordillera del Cóndor in northern Peru. It inhabits a very restricted area of only a few hectares. Its body is velvety black with yellow eyes and red wings. As a defense, it can spray a chemical substance that temporarily irritates the eyes and nose of people. This mechanism does not cause permanent damage. In captivity, its adult life expectancy is approximately 1 year.
Scottish painter Ewen McClure created a self-portrait using a two-way mirror. A hidden camera recorded the process from behind the glass. The painting took around 3 hours and shows strong visual coordination. Although the method appears simple, it requires practice and spatial perception. Painting oneself in front of a mirror can be a good artistic exercise. McClure's result was recognizable and accurate.
Eddie Flexible is a contortionist known as the Boneless Man. His incredible flexibility allows him to bend his body in surprising ways. He has gained recognition on social media for his striking movements. In his performances, he shows poses that seem impossible.
The Faroe Islands are an archipelago located in the North Atlantic, between Great Britain, Norway, and Iceland. They have a population close to 54,000 inhabitants. They belong to the Kingdom of Denmark as a constituent nation with internal autonomy. This status was established in 1948. Although they are not part of the European Union, they maintain ties with Europe. Their geography is mountainous with an oceanic climate. Fishing is their main economic activity.
This is a zoetrope adapted to a bicycle wheel. The zoetrope is a stroboscopic machine that creates the illusion of motion. It was invented in 1834 by William George Horner. It works with sequential images viewed through slits in a rotating drum. It is one of the precursors of cinema.
If one day you want to remove adhesive tape from a piece of paper, do not do it the usual way. If you stretch the tape from both ends, you reduce the adhesive properties of the glue, which allows you to remove it without damaging the paper.
This video was recorded in Saariselkä, Finland, at the Kakslautinen Arctic Resort. The place is famous for its glass igloos, designed to view the northern lights from bed. Visibility depends on atmospheric conditions. The resort offers accommodation for 2 people, starting at around $600 per night. It also features wooden cabins, saunas, and winter activities. It is located in the Lapland region, north of the Arctic Circle.
Tiles can lift due to moisture buildup, which causes swelling and loss of adhesion. This can also happen if large tiles are installed too close together without expansion joints. This prevents them from expanding with temperature changes and creates pressure between them. Over time, materials can deteriorate and lose their bonding capacity. Although the phenomenon appears dramatic, it is not related to earthquakes. Roosters crow primarily as a territorial signal and to assert dominance, not exclusively to attract females. Their crowing is regulated by internal circadian rhythms, which allow them to begin vocalizing before dawn, even without sunlight. Although they also crow during the day, their vocal activity is most intense in the early morning. The crowing can serve as a warning to other males or as a response to external stimuli. Factors such as environment and stress can influence its frequency.
This sport is called rugball and was created in Russia in the 1990s. It combines basketball, Greco-Roman wrestling, and rugby on a court with baskets. It is played with 6 players per team on the field. The objective is to score a basket while holding opponents is allowed, but striking is not. Rugball is also practiced in Moldova, Estonia, Belarus, the Czech Republic, the Netherlands, and France. It is an intense contact sport with specific rules.
The siamang is a type of gibbon native to Southeast Asia, especially Sumatra and the Malay Peninsula. It is the largest of the gibbons and is distinguished by its large, inflatable vocal sac. This structure allows it to emit powerful sounds that can be heard for several miles. The vocalizations serve to mark territory and strengthen social bonds. It is an agile, arboreal primate with monogamous behavior. It lives in tropical rainforests and moves primarily by brachiation. Its song is one of the most intense among primates.
This is Mount Fuji in Japan, famous for generating lenticular clouds over its summit. These clouds have a saucer-like shape and can appear in stacked layers. They form when moist, stable air currents flow over the mountain.
The insect puppet with fluorescent outlines was created by Barnaby Dixon, a British artist specializing in puppet design and manipulation. His models are characterized by precise articulation, internal mechanisms that allow detailed movements, and the use of lightweight materials. Dixon incorporates fluorescent lighting to highlight visual elements during his performances, especially in dark environments.
The third thumb is a robotic prosthesis created by New Zealand designer Danny Clode. It is worn on the hand on the opposite side of the natural thumb and functions as a second thumb. The device is controlled through pressure sensors located on the big toes. These sensors send signals via Bluetooth that activate the motors of the robotic thumb. The project was developed in collaboration with the Plasticity Laboratory at University College London. Studies have shown that the brain can adapt to controlling this additional finger.
The Empire of the Dwarves is a theme park located near Kunming, China, founded in 2009 by entrepreneur Chen Mingjing. Designed with mushroom-shaped houses, it employs people with dwarfism who live and work there, portraying characters such as wizards, elves, and warriors in daily performances. The artwork Io Sono by Italian artist Salvatore Garau is an invisible sculpture. It was auctioned in Milan for around $18,300. Garau defines it as immaterial, composed of air and energy. Although it has no physical form, it includes a certificate of authenticity and requires specific conditions for display, such as an empty space of approximately 6.5 by 6.5 feet. The artist maintains that emptiness has density and meaning. The largest spokeless Ferris wheel in the world is located in Weifang, Shandong Province, China. It is called the Eye of Bohai and was inaugurated in 2018.
It has approximately 410 feet in diameter and reaches a total height of about 476 feet. It is built over the Bailang River, and its structure is fixed. The cabins slide along the rim like a closed circuit. This design eliminates the central axle typical of other Ferris wheels. Each full rotation takes approximately 30 minutes.
Augmented reality pool tables use sensors and optical projection to detect balls and pockets. The system draws visual lines that help players plan their shots. These systems show basic trajectories, but do not predict shots with complex spin. Side spin or backspin depends on physical variables that are difficult to model.
This is an eco-friendly washing machine. It is a washing machine that operates with human power. It saves electricity while washing clothes and encourages people to stay healthy.
Recorded in Las Vegas, United States, this pool table uses a digital interactive system. It consists of a ceiling-mounted projector that illuminates the surface with visual effects. It is connected to an overhead camera that tracks ball movement in real time. This type of system combines dynamic projection with computer vision tracking. The result is a visually engaging experience.
Fish have a highly developed sense of smell that allows them to detect food, avoid predators, and communicate with other individuals. This sense is located in the nares, which are nasal openings through which water flows to the olfactory epithelium, where dissolved molecules such as amino acids and other chemical substances are perceived. Unlike humans, fish do not breathe through their noses, but use them exclusively to smell. They are capable of detecting odors at extremely low concentrations, allowing them to respond precisely to their aquatic environment. In November of 2020, a peat slide was recorded in Meanbog, County Donegal, Ireland. The terrain, composed of vegetation and soft soil, moved downhill, dragging trees and part of the landscape with it. Although the phenomenon appears like a floating island, it is not a real islet nor a mass floating on water. The vegetation, especially tree roots, may have helped maintain the cohesion of the terrain.
Industrial boot cleaners are designed to remove residues such as mud, dirt, snow, and chemical substances from footwear used in work environments, especially in food, chemical, and processing industries. Some models allow the use of disinfectants or degreasers, which improves cleaning and reduces the transfer of contaminants between areas.
Kaohsiawan Station is part of Line 6 of the Chongqing Metro in China, and although it appears abandoned, it is operational with modern facilities. It is located in a rural area without direct road access, which limits its use by residents, many of whom are farmers. It was inaugurated in 2015 as part of an urban planning strategy that anticipates future development of the area.
This is a speeder bike inspired by the Star Wars saga, adapted onto a real motorcycle. Instead of levitating, the wheels are hidden with rectangular mirrors to simulate floating. The visual effect aims to imitate the speeder bikes seen in the films. It is an example of creativity applied to theme design.
An earthquake of magnitude 7.7 shook Myanmar and Thailand on March 28, 2025. The epicenter was located near Sagaing in Myanmar and caused significant damage in Mandalay, Naypyidaw, and Bangkok in Thailand. The quake was strongly felt in high-rise buildings. In 2003, Doris Salcedo presented an installation at the Istanbul Biennial. She stacked 1,550 chairs between two buildings on Yemenicular Street. The Colombian artist is recognized for exploring memory and mourning. A hot air balloon flying upside down was recorded in Las Vegas as part of a visual trick. Although it appears to have the basket on top, it is actually designed with a false structure. The real basket is hidden underneath, allowing normal flight. The design aims to attract attention through optical illusion. What appears to be a visible sun in an impossible position may be an effect of atmospheric refraction. This phenomenon occurs when sunlight bends as it passes through layers of air with different densities. Refraction can make the sun appear even after it has already set.
On Rain Island, north of the Great Barrier Reef in Australia, a massive arrival of green sea turtles has been recorded. In a recent season, around 64,000 females were counted using drones. These turtles migrate from different areas of the Western Pacific to nest.
The high-speed rail line between Xi'an and Chengdu in China was inaugurated in 2017. It crosses mountainous terrain, especially the Qinling mountain range. More than 90% of the route is elevated or underground. The construction aims to overcome natural obstacles and avoid level crossings. This improves safety and reduces urban impact. The German airship Hindenburg flew over New York on May 6, 1937. It was part of its transatlantic route from Frankfurt to the United States.
Hours later, it caught fire during landing in Lakehurst, New Jersey. Images of the disaster marked a critical turning point in the history of aviation. The Hindenburg was the largest airship ever built. Its fall ended the commercial use of hydrogen-filled airships.
In Western Australia, dolphins have been recorded surfing waves on beaches such as Esperance and Margaret River. This behavior occurs spontaneously and is often interpreted as play or social interaction. The dolphins glide alongside the waves, sometimes close to surfers.
An electrical fault can occur when a loose connection in one phase generates an electric arc. This arc forms due to the ionization of the air and can extend to another phase if conditions allow. In three-phase systems, this can cause an intense and sudden discharge. The cause is usually insulation defects or installation errors. It is a common risk in industrial and commercial facilities.
This heart-shaped lake is in Ontario, Canada, and it's called Heart Lake. Its outline is best seen from the air, especially in autumn. Although it is not a common shape, there are other similar cases. Notable examples include the Heart of Vaux mangrove in New Caledonia and Tupai Island in French Polynesia. Makepeace Island in Australia is also mentioned as having a similar shape. These formations often depend on the viewing angle.
This video was recorded on Lake Geneva, located between Switzerland and France, near Geneva. The phenomenon shown is the result of a cold wave known as the Beast from the East. This air mass originates in Siberia and has affected Europe in recent winters. Its origin is related to sudden stratospheric warming. This event can disrupt the polar vortex, diverting cold air toward Europe. Normally, these winds remain over the North Pole. When they break down, they cause extreme drops in temperature across European regions.
Uphill races are a sporting modality practiced in mountainous regions. In the Alps, this type of competition takes place in countries such as Italy, Austria, Switzerland, Germany, France, and Slovenia. Notable events include the vertical kilometer in Italy and Switzerland. These races demand great physical endurance and technical skill.
Recorded in Fos-sur-Mer, France, a formation of 9 CL-215 firefighting aircraft can be seen in operation. These aircraft were developed by the Canadian company Canadair and are designed to fight wildfires through water drops. It made its first flight in 1967 and was produced until 1990. France has been one of its main users since the earliest deliveries. They also operate in countries such as Spain, Italy, and the United States.
Pigeons have demonstrated cognitive abilities greater than commonly assumed. Researchers at the University of Iowa discovered that they can classify objects into categories. This process is comparable to that of a 3-year-old child. The study is part of research on visual learning in birds. Pigeons also show good memory and pattern recognition. Their intelligence has long been underestimated.
Diamonds form naturally from pure carbon, but they do not come from coal. This process occurs in the Earth's mantle at depths close to around 99 miles. There, pressure and heat allow carbon to crystallize into diamond. Formation can take millions of years, not billions as is sometimes claimed. Pure carbon is an element, while coal is a mixture of organic compounds. The difference is fundamental in geology. Diamonds extracted today originated under extreme conditions a very long time ago.
This lightning bolt appears unusual, but it is a visual effect caused by the camera. By adjusting the shutter speed, the videographer can alter how light is recorded. Lightning strikes are brief and intense, and their shape varies depending on the moment captured.
Recorded in Liaoning, China, this phenomenon shows ice formations in the Bohai Sea near the city of Dalian. In winter, low temperatures can partially freeze the marine surface. The resulting landscape has been informally called a sea of ice by some media outlets. The time-lapse video shows stars orbiting Sagittarius A star. The supermassive black hole at the center of the Milky Way was captured by the Very Large Telescope of the European Southern Observatory in Chile. The observations were carried out over nearly 20 years and made it possible to trace the orbits of several nearby stars. Recorded near Socorro Island in Colima, Mexico, this video shows a rare deep-sea jellyfish. It was recorded in 2018 by the Nautilus expedition at more than around 13,100 feet in depth. The discovery was made using the Hercules submersible in the waters of the Mexican Pacific. The jellyfish belongs to the Halicreatidae family, which is considered uncommon. Flying snakes belong to the genus Chrysopelia and live in Asia. They are found in countries such as India, Indonesia, and New Guinea. They launch themselves from trees and glide through the air. They use undulating movements and expand their bodies to catch air.
During a storm at sea, life inside a ship's cabin can become unstable and noisy. The movement of the waves is strongly felt inside. Commercial vessels and cruise ships face these conditions frequently. The experience can be intense, but it is part of ocean navigation.
Shadow drawing is an artistic technique created by Belgian illustrator Vincent Ball. It consists of observing the shadows cast by everyday objects and using them as the basis for creative illustrations. The artist draws over the shadow, transforming it into scenes, characters, or clever situations. His style combines humor, simplicity, and visual play. This technique has gained popularity on social media and in exhibitions.
The P791 is a hybrid prototype developed by Lockheed Martin. It combines airship technology with assisted flight and is designed for cargo and transport. It can carry passengers and land on unprepared terrain, depending on conditions. Its design allows for high maneuverability and efficiency in remote areas. It has been proposed for industrial and logistical uses.
If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like it and share it with your friends. Subscribe so you don't miss more interesting content. Leave your comments and click on any of these videos. See you next time.